Attorney Stacy Van Dyke. Ms. Van Dyke, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
And the plaintiff joins us, Mr. Josh Van Dyke. Mr. Van Dyke, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
And our defendant, Laura Van Dyke, joins us. Ms. Van Dyke, good morning.
Good morning.
And finally, on behalf of Ms. Van Dyke, Attorney Renee Wagoner. Ms. Wagoner, good morning.
Good morning.
So I read your motion and I read your response, Ms. Van Dyke. Anything you want to add to that, Ms. Wagoner, before I may have some questions, or Ms. Van Dyke may have something to add to her response? I'm giving the floor to you.
Thank you. I would just simply respond to Ms. Van Dyken's response. I do believe there is a change in circumstance, and I don't think her response denies it, because Mr. Van Dyke is not exercising any overnights with his son. And I do get that the child is 18 and that is hard to enforce, but that doesn't change the fact that my client is providing for his housing, his living expenses, his food, the gas to keep the house warm, the electric, the water to drink and shower and bathe and do laundry and all of those things. And I think the lack of overnights is a solid change in circumstance to warrant a child support review. In addition, my client...
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, in addition, my client has had the now adult child for over half of the year, and hence her request to claim the child as a tax exemption for the 2024 tax year.
Is Mr. Van Dyke financially contributing to the situation, i.e., is he current on his child support? I think Ms. Van Dyken said that he takes care of all the parochial school tuition, takes care of the vehicle expenses. So he's not, the fact, I agree with you that there may or may not be a change of circumstance, but is it true that he's doing those?
I'm not denying that he's doing those. My client is also paying for insurance and those types of expenses as well. So I would assume he's current on child support. I don't know that. I haven't heard any differently, but they're both paying for the added expenses as it relates to this child, as well as my client is paying for the primary necessities.
Thank you. Ms. Van Dyken.
I'll start with the tax exemption. That's a property issue. That property issue was settled, and that's not up for discussion. You don't get to just change it. With regard to the insurance that Ms. Wagoner says that Ms. Van Dyke pays, that must be insurance for her own home or her own health insurance. My client pays the car insurance for the car that he purchased for the child, and the school tuition for both children, and the extracurricular activities. Again, I think I think the court refers to these children as the 800-pound gorilla, but this is an 18-year-old adult gorilla. So where he chooses and takes himself in the car that my client provides for him is that. I don't believe that, the tax exemption is an issue that should remain split between the parties. And I don't believe, and it's my understanding that he'll be graduating in May. So we're talking about January, February, March, April, May, 5 months. And he is current on his support, Your Honor.
So it's interesting. This is kind of a one of those somewhat gray areas where it's more than an 800-pound gorilla. It's a 900-pound gorilla, because I can't tell him what to do even if I wanted to. I can't tell him go spend overnights at your dad's, because nor could I hold Miss Van Dyke in contempt of any kind for him not doing so, because he's an adult. Obviously, just as he apparently chooses not to spend any overnights with Mr. Van Dyke, he could tomorrow choose not to have any overnights with Miss Van Dyke. I mean, it's just how it works with these children. As far as the tax exemption, well, let me start with the child support first. Obviously, looking at the UCSO, it's clear that the child support amount was based on overnights, because it's 182.5 for both kids. And that, the fact that he's not having overnights, that I agree with Ms. Wagoner is a change of circumstance. And I think that either the parties should either try and come up with their own plan, or I can send it to the friend of the court for this finite period of time. The tax exemptions are a different story. Whether it's the child support, whether it's a property, that's always the biggest debate in food. But the tenancy exemptions are based on more than just overnight. They're based on a shared economic responsibility. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. But even though he doesn't exercise overnights or have overnights, he obviously is contributing financially to the situation, paying child support, paying school tuition, vehicle expenses, just as your client is. So I'm going to grant the motion as far as proper cause or change of circumstance. I'd be happy to refer it to the friend of the court for an investigation and recommendation. It shouldn't take that long. I'm going to respectfully deny the change in the tax exemption. However, I don't believe that has been shown to be in the best interest of these children to fiddle around with that at this point. So I guess I can ask you both. You both have margin soft. You both know how to run guidelines. If you want to take a crack at it first, or do you want me to sign the order of reference today?
Can I?
I don't have a problem with Ms. Van Dyke and I exchanging income information and running the guidelines. If we can't reach an agreement within the next, before the end of the year, basically, I would say we can reach back out to your office for a referral, if she's okay with that.
That's fine.
Okay. All right, let's do that then. Let's see if we can get it together. You guys got more important things to worry about than sitting in court. You guys got a plan for a graduation coming up, and just so both of you know, if you think once they turn 18, they get cheaper, you got another thing coming. They get more expensive, quite frankly. But I wish you both the best. Have a great holiday. Ms. Wagoner, Ms. Van Dyke, thank you both very
Can I
much.
say one
Thank
thing
you.
about one? Is it
Probably
possible?
not. I don't
No.
think the attorney
Okay.
wants you to talk.
Okay, that's
You can
fine.
talk to her. She'll listen to you, but
Yeah,
a lot of times attorneys will slap me if I start listening to their
yeah,
clients.
it's okay. That's okay.
Okay. All right. Have a great holiday. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Very good.
May I interrupt real quick?
Real quickly, Mr. Vega, we got a lot of other cases yet.
And regarding claiming the kids, it's every other year for the parents, right?
I'm sorry?
Taxes.
Oh,
When it
no,
comes to
sir,
taxes?
I have no control over that. That's a federal thing.
Gotcha.
That's a federal law. Y'all have to look into that to talk to your tax people. I really can't
Okay.
make decisions regarding federal laws.